You're now listening to the Brothers of the Five. At shooting guard, it's your boy, Killer Cam. At small forward, it's Reggie Love. At point guard, C Major. At power forward, I'll be. And at center, Mr. Noise, Lloyd Spence. And now, the Brothers of the Five. What a weekend it has been, ladies and gentlemen. And we will start here with the first question of the night. Listen, when we just started recording the show on Sundays last week. We had no idea that the week would present what it presented. and though we should have, because Brooklyn going Brooklyn all the time right now. So let's recap real quick. From last Sunday, when we were on the show last Sunday, we had the frustration of the organization with Kyrie not renouncing his film. We had Ben Simmons, who it looked like he wasn't going. Looked like at the time he wasn't going to be able to play because he may have had a knee injury. Turned out he did have a knee injury, so he ended up being out. The whole anti-Semitism situation came to a head, and though Kyrie and his team met with Josiah, and his team met with the Anti-Defamation League to try to resolve this. When asked to make a $500,000 donation and apologize, Kyrie doubled down last week and said, I did nothing wrong. It's not my film, and I'm sorry that y'all don't understand that, and I don't support everything in the film. However, and then the next day, that night, Josiah said, yeah, you're suspended. So then, by about an hour after he was announced to be suspended by the Brooklyn Nets, Kyrie said, remember when I had stood up at that press conference and said that I didn't do nothing wrong? And, y'all, sometimes I be tripping. And he made an immediate apology on social media. Not publicly yet, but on social media. He made a very thorough and very concise apology on his Instagram. We have yet to hear from him publicly yet. But on his Instagram, he said all the right things. However, the Nets have outlined 6 things that he must do in order to get back on the court. So he is suspended a minimum of 5 games, which actually will turn out to be about, all total is going to turn out to be about 12 games. 12 days that he'll be suspended. So that makes it very, very interesting. And what makes it even more interesting than that is that since he's been suspended, the Nets have won. They beat the Wizards on Friday night, and did they win last night as well? Yes. They beat the Hornets last night. So currently the Nets are 2-0 without Kyrie and Ben Simmons. The question before we open up tonight, what should the Brooklyn Nets do about all of it?
Wow.
I know, right?
It's a lot.
They got their own little soap opera going, bro.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Part of me says, what can you get for Kyrie right now? If you're able to win without Kyrie and Ben Simmons right now,
I can answer that for you.
If you shocked him, what could you get for him?
I can answer that for you.
What's that?
Absolutely nothing. Not one thing. There is not one, because the moment. So here's the irony of what you can get for Kyrie. The moment you tweet an anti-Semitic film that says that the Holocaust is not real, you automatically align yourself with anti-Semitic beliefs. The moment you trade for Kyrie Irving, you automatically align yourself with anti-Semitic beliefs. So the answer to your question is nothing, not today. Now, that could change if Kyrie can get some act right or some lie right. It could change. Because if he'll come back with looking like he understands publicly.
Did LeBron come out with a quote as well?
LeBron, which by the way, shout out to LeBron for being the only one that I've seen with a quote. Yes, he absolutely did. So he got to get some act right.
Kyrie needs to just do a page from Nick Cannon's book. Just do the apology, meet with some people, and it's all gonna go away.
And have a bunch of kids.
You haven't heard anything. You haven't heard anything about the things that Nick Cannon said about the Jewish people since he said it.
Right.
So if you want to go that route and just do the public apology, or I mean, social media should have been good because it's public anyway. I mean, that should have been suffice anyway. So definitely do that, and then let it blow over. Go ahead and go on 35 points a game for 10 games and let your stock go up and get up out of there.
Is that Kyrie's? Can he do that? That's the question.
If it matters, if it's going to hurt his pockets, I think in some form he's going to do that. If
Kyrie, if you would have told me the first year or two, maybe 3, when Kyrie was in the league, yeah, that one. This Kyrie right here, I don't know, Chad. It's great, but I don't know if it's in him to do that though.
I'm gonna tell you the truth, Chad. I appreciate you offering that solution, but that ain't gonna work because he still got to sit in front of a microphone at some point and say things.
Right.
And he's already proven that when he opens his mouth, dumb stuff is coming out.
Yeah, I get it, but we've seen what Kyrie done that's controversial. He's done a lot of things that are actually good. I looked through some stuff. He definitely helped college students, HBCU college students through college. Yep. He's donated money to Feeding America and gave money to WNBA. So he's done good, which nobody talks about. They're going to talk about this because he's in an actual state that actually has a lot of Jewish population. This is what it's really about.
I disagree with that because he's in a certain state. I believe that.
There he is.
What's up?
There he is.
What's up, man? What's up? But no, there's a lot of Jewish people in New York, and so if this was maybe in a different state, it may not have hit like this.
I totally disagree with that.
I totally disagree with that one. I think it was going to hit no matter where he was at.
I agree.
I think if he was in Hawaii or if he was somewhere else, it was going to hit the same way. That's just Kyrie. That's the problem. Okay, let me go back to you said with Nick Cannon. He's about 10, 11 kids behind Nick before he
he's way behind. He got to get his game on.
I'm just talking about the same situation. He's accused of anti-Semitism too. So I'm just saying his playbook. He could just make this go away.
But the difference is though, number one, he's got to say something. He's got to say something. He has no choice to step in front of a microphone. And Kyrie ain't mature enough yet, at least he hasn't demonstrated, to not say inflammatory stuff. He ain't got to that point of his life yet. So that's number one. But there's another problem that we're not talking about. I said it at the end of the statement. And I'm glad you Cam is here now, so he can hear it again. And that's a 2-0 without it.
I mean, that's maybe why they have all these restrictions to try to force him out, try to get him to leave.
I don't think you need restrictions. I think you just listen. At this point, why continue? You're not going to re-sign him, right? Joe Tsai's not going to re-sign Kyrie. Let's be clear. It's over. So if you're not going to now, the reason why you wouldn't re-sign him is because you think for just a half a second that this might trigger KD to ask for a trade. That's the only reason you might do this. But I don't think at this point KD is on board with that. So I'm trying to understand why you don't just trade this dude.
Hey,
or, I mean, why don't you just cut this dude and move on?
I wouldn't cut him. I'm gonna listen to. I'm not gonna give him away for free. I got to figure out somebody crazy enough to get him. If I'm the Nets, I'm gonna listen to people. I'm gonna listen to people and see if somebody crazy enough to get him. And trust me, there may be one or two teams that can.
I'm waiting, Reggie. Well, first of all, let's get Cam in here. Cam, what's up with you, brother?
What's good,
What's
Cam?
up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good, man. Good to see you, man. They let you out. I'm glad. Of his job.
Fresh off the plane.
Right. Okay. Right. I don't want anybody thinking it's something else. You know how rumors get started. Okay. All right. So you know the situation. You know what's going on. What would you do? What should the Brooklyn Nets do about all of it?
Well, it depends on what direction you want to go. And if you want to hold on to Durant, you need to make some moves and provisions right now. Don't play around with this thing because you're gonna wind up with nothing. You ain't gonna have Kyrie. We know that. But now you're gonna wind up not maybe having Durant, and I don't know if I'm willing to take that risk as a basketball organization of losing a top 3 player in the NBA, probably for the next 4, 5, 6 years. So do what you got to do now. It is what it is. It's tough love. You should have did it in the offseason. We talked about that before the start. We already know all that stuff. Just listen, I'm not moving the goalpost, but just like LeBron messed up with this Westbrook thing, okay, we never got to move forward. It's the same thing with Brooklyn. We got to move forward at this point. So what are you gonna do now? You can't be stalemate, because then you're gonna wind up getting a disgruntled Durant. That ain't good for Brooklyn. So now listen, now grown man business. I'm not opposed to people doing what they do, feeling how they feel. But we seen this last year when it came to COVID. Man, get the damn shot and help your team win a championship.
Right.
I understand how you feel and all that stuff. And it's the same thing with this stuff, man. Sometimes you got to put your personal to the back because of the job that you're doing. You know, and Kyrie got to grow up, in my opinion. Yeah. Now, with that being said and done, I would want Kyrie with the Lakers right now. Make no mistake about that. But what I'm saying is he got to grow up.
Wait a minute. You're not just going to run past that moment. You would want him with the Lakers right now? With the Lakers? Wow. Bro, we got enough problems.
Hey, talent, man, that's a lot of stuff, man.
I actually this too.
So we have a full-on marital problem, and now you want to bring on a dysfunctional kid?
Who is the owner for Brooklyn? What religious group are they?
Josiah? I think he said he's Jewish, didn't he?
And that's the problem that they're having right now.
Right.
So I'm just saying, if that's what it is, that's what you want to do. You want to do Kyrie like that? You want to put LeBron in a situation like that? Do all that. I don't care. But you're gonna hurt yourself.
Can I piggyback off of Cam?
Wow.
Can I piggyback off of Cam? And I'm agree with. I'm agree with.
Thing, man. Listen, listen. That's my fault. I forgot about the Sunday thing. That's my fault. I love you guys. I gotta run. I just got back in town.
All right, tell your people we love y'all. Appreciate you pulling up, Cam.
Appreciate it, bro.
Hey, where you at, Cam? I'm on my way. Where you at, Cam? I'm on my way.
Hey, first of all, Reggie, me and you got a lot to talk about, man. The coaches, they killing me right now,
hey.
man. Let's set off the line.
Hey, call. Let's talk tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, fellas, y'all. Peace out.
All right, y'all. Wow. I don't know about that Lakers thing. That he threw me with that one. I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah.
Talent, brother. Talent. We know Kyrie's a talent on the court, but barring all the off field stuff, he's a talent on the court. That's where he's going with it.
Yeah, but yeah. You
said, I think it's a bigger issue because he's organized. By a person that's Jewish, man. That's why it's a bigger issue.
No, I disagree. I think it's a bigger issue because it's a big issue.
Right.
I think you can't be doing that, man. You can't. You can feel how you want to feel, and you can have whatever opinions about groups that you want to have, but you don't always have to say those opinions out loud. and you certain and the moment you tell people that you're a racist, they're gonna believe you. Yeah. And that's kind of where we are. And I just think he's deeply immature and he's just not making it about basketball. But I don't know. But I'm gonna tell you something. I think the trade is Ben Simmons. And I think there is a trade to be had right now for Ben Simmons and Wiseman. And y'all need to make that trade. Because Ben Simmons is the perfect player for what y'all need right now. Right this very minute. And it's the perfect environment for him right now for this minute. He can go to Golden State and be this year's Andrew Wiggins and be a superstar in that role. No pressure. Take all the pressure off. Just focus on basketball and getting better. That's it. We're here at question 2 now, y'all. So this season is off to a very strange start, if you ask my opinion. I think you guys would agree. So realistically, who really are the best 2 teams in the NBA right now?
Are you talking about from each? I'm gonna go with
one from each side. One from each side. Yes.
I always said Milwaukee was going. To me, Milwaukee is the best team in the East.
I think they're legit. I think they're definitely legit. Yeah.
And they've done this without their second leading scorer. Just remember
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, the West. Just flip a coin.
Is this like a 9-headed coin? Because it's like I don't know. In the West, I don't know.
I don't know either. That's why I was saying the West is it's a shootout. It's an okay garage shootout. You know, I mean, teams that we were thinking gonna stink it up and say, you know what, we're gonna lose 80 of the 82 games are winning. And the team that we said was going to go undefeated can't win a game on the road. My bad. I didn't say that, did I?
Nah, you good. You good.
But he's telling the truth, though.
Yeah.
Phoenix is number 1. Utah number 2. Memphis number 3. Portland number 4 in the conference now. Denver number 5. Dallas 6. New Orleans 7. The Clippers are 8. San Antonio is 9. And Minnesota is 10. So if the playoffs started today, Golden State and the Lakers would be out.
Crazy.
If the playoffs started today.
And we're 10 games in, guys. Let's remember we're 10
games. Yeah, it's 10 games in. So I mean it could switch just like that, but
no doubt. No doubt.
I mean the San Antonio Spurs, they definitely got exposed. Got exposed.
What?
How do we get exposed? We're not supposed to be good this year.
Primo.
What color they got exposed? I don't understand.
Primo.
Oh, that's not exposed.
That's not exposed. Now,
that's not what the title of the show is, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out why he's saying exposed to the Spurs. Like,
I was like, exposed to what?
Well, were we supposed to be number 1?
Low. He went for the low hanging fruit.
Exactly.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. Since you want to go there, we have won 5 games this year. You won 2.
Nice. Hey, it's not where you start; it's where you finish. So We'll see.
But for the first 10 games, I can say something. After that, I don't know. But
right.
But no, right. To go back, hey man, let's give a shout out to Utah, brother. Because those guys play together, man. They played, I watched them play. They played together.
Yeah.
Well, what's really interesting to me is that you got a lot of guys on that team who have traditionally been like strong role players on their team.
Right.
And now they're getting the opportunity to be, quote unquote, the men. And man, they are taking full advantage of it. And it's like they're playing some of the best ball in the West right now. I mean, it's shocking, but it is true. So,
and they still got 200 picks left.
They got 1,000 picks. It's amazing. They'll be picking until 3,034. So
that's how you set yourself up right there.
They're in a good spot, man. They're in a good spot. But I think it's the Bucks in the East for sure. I think the Bucks are the far and away best team. But shout out to Cleveland though. Yeah. Cleveland is balling, man. Listen, that was the one trade to me that didn't really like. It was a good trade, but I didn't realize it was going to be that good. Like it is really turning out to be the difference maker.
Yeah. They like I said before, they had a lot of great players, and they was going to be one of the sneaky teams to root for it before Donovan Mitchell. And now that he's on the team and he's guiding those young guys, they're going to be a force, man.
Yeah, but man, you got to start talking about Donovan Mitchell in some MVP conversations here soon if he keeps this up.
Hey, you know what's intriguing to me? Brooklyn, Philadelphia, and Miami. That those three teams are supposed to be top in the East.
Supposed to be.
Are 4 and 6. All three teams are 4 and 6.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the first 10 games, like you said, it's just the first 10 games. But
by the way, Harden out for the next month.
How much rope does Doc Rivers have? Is he on his last?
I
told y'all don't want me to get on Doc again. I told
you. Okay, but you can't get on him now, though, Reggie. I mean, with James Harden being out, you got to give him a little leniency, don't you? Don't you?
Man, I've been giving Doc leniency for 20 years.
I mean,
hey,
brother, if you had Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman on the same squad, brother, you'll win the championship too.
You had a good squad.
Yeah,
you had a good squad, but
and then you had Robin and the Aqua Twins coming off the bench.
Yeah, he had a good squad.
He's gonna have to face that fate, soon. I think.
I don't think so. Not until James gets back. Now, if it's bad before James gets back, then maybe so. Like if they are 4 and 15 when James gets back, then you might have to have a conversation with him.
They're not gonna let him go.
This ain't gonna work.
Nah, Well,
I don't know, man. It depends on how bad it gets. Now, listen.
Yeah, it can get
if
bad.
it's not getting too bad, they will let him go. Like they'll be like, listen, we got to save the season. Listen, the teams you name, bro, Brooklyn, Philly, Miami, they all have championship aspirations. It's championship or bust. Right. So they can't afford to let this thing tank.
Yep.
So I think Doc might be in a little trouble. Not critical right now, but he might want to start getting it together. Like
his seat is warm, but it's not hot yet.
Right. Like somebody accidentally hit the seat warmer on low. It ain't bad yet, but you might want to knock this off, bro. Like, but
now the team that you named, Milwaukee, Cleveland, and Phoenix and Utah, that's who I had as my top 4 in the East and the West. So.
And Boston looks like Boston. I mean, they look okay. I'm very surprised that Atlanta is working as well as it is. But it is working. That backcourt is working.
Right.
Yeah. I got a question. What do y'all think about the Udoka thing with Brooklyn?
So that's a great question. It hasn't happened yet. Kyrie stuff that was going on last week. I don't like it personally. Mm-hmm. I don't like it at all. I think it's a bad look.
Right.
For them.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why they're doing it, and I also understand the historical relationship that Sean and Ime have because they were all Spurs guys. So I get that. But to me, you're sending a really terrible message to your fan base. You're sending a terrible message through the NBA. It just looks bad to me, like on every level.
If you think about this, and I'm gonna piggyback off of my man D Spence. So you got a team that suspends him for a year for behavior issues. So you're telling me, you know what? Don't worry about that suspension. You just come over here with me. We don't care about what you did. We don't care. All we care about is as long as you win it on the basketball court.
Right.
What are you sending
Brooklyn said they travel coordinator is 78 years old. You ain't got to worry about that.
But what message?
You're on fire tonight.
You're on fire tonight. What message are you sending to for the rest of the NBA? What message are you sending for the fans? What message are you sending for the young men that's coming up in this society? What message are you sending? Is winning trumps over everything, no matter what you do. Yeah. So to me, if you're gonna hire him, you wait to that 1 year suspension, and then you hire him.
Yeah.
Because you can't say I'm gonna have morals on this section, but on this side, I'm not gonna have morals. I'm gonna call it like it is.
Yeah.
You're gonna have morals against Kyrie, but you ain't gonna have morals on this situation.
Right. I mean,
yeah. That's true.
It does look hypocritical. It really does.
Very hypocritical. Like, really.
That's true.
Because you tripling down on the Kyrie situation.
Right.
Man.
Yeah. I can't wait to hear that first press conference when they introduce him. Right. Here's our coach. Now, keep your dress down.
Right.
But
right.
But here he is.
It's just like a wrong is a wrong.
Yeah.
You know, wrong is wrong. When does one wrong over another wrong?
But some people think personal wrong, somebody wronged me personally, and then something that ain't got nothing to do with me is two different wrongs. That's what some people feel.
But where is, I agree with Reggie, and I think we all agree, really.
Yeah.
Where is the sense of societal? We've lost a sense of societal responsibility as it relates to the way we present ourselves, the examples that we set for others. And that's kind of disturbing in this situation.
It is.
And it's even worse in Brooklyn's situation, because basically so far, this is what Joe Tsai has done in his tenure as a NBA owner. He's done anything and everything to win.
Right.
Damn the rules, damn the way it looks. Forget I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win. And to me, that's not a good look, bro. Like if I got to go get James Harden, if I got to go get Kyrie, if I got to go get KD, if I got to do this, if I got to do that, let's trade for Ben Simmons. Settle down and just build a team. Like there's a fine line between I want to win, and I'm willing to win at all costs.
Right. And
it feels like you're willing to win at all costs, and reputation aside. That makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, because Udoka said, I need to take some time off to pretty much get myself back together, focus on my family, do the things that I need to do so I can make myself a better person, make myself a better coach, make myself a better everything. He's saying that. Now, all of a sudden, you're saying, oh, don't worry about that, brother. Come on over here and go just coach my basketball team. Really?
You know, here's a weird comparison, Reggie and Chad. This is a weird comparison, but it fits. This feels a lot like when Tupac went to jail, and he went to jail, and he was supposed to spend there like 5 to 10 years, right. And he was only there like a few months, and then Suge came and got him and said, hey, come on over to death row.
Right. Don't worry about what you did.
Brooklyn is the new death row.
Right.
Hey, you
I know that didn't work over there where you were. You come over here and do all that.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's definitely a good comparison. That's definitely a good one.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. It's a strange situation to me, but this is where we are, man. So, but yeah, I would say that if I was going to bet on two teams, I would bet on Milwaukee and probably. See, I don't love Phoenix like that. I like Phoenix, and it wasn't pretty. So I think I'm leaning more toward Milwaukee and Memphis right now. Like today, though. Like today, after the first 10 games, I would say Memphis and Milwaukee.
Yeah. Isn't Cam Johnson hurt anyway?
Cam Johnson looks like he's going to be out, yes.
Yeah, so that can definitely affect him on that then. But yeah, I agree. The Milwaukee Memphis thing intrigues me on that, and hopefully my guys can do something and pull themselves out of this hole. So
they'll be fine. They just got they got a legit championship hangover right now, and the young guys are the ones feeling it. because Draymond and them know how to shake it off. If you look at the numbers, Draymond, Clay, Steph, all playing phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's the young guy. It really is the young guy. And I know Dre, everybody was like, dang, I can't believe Dre called him out. Hell, go look at the numbers. Yeah. Wiggs ain't pulling his weight. Poole ain't pulling his weight. Wiseman is non-existent. Kuminga can't get off the bench. It's the young guy. They got to step up, and they got to stop believing the hype, and let's get back to basketball.
Yep.
Yeah. So they'll figure it out, though. Or they'll make a trade, and some of the dudes that be on the trading block. So either way, they'll win. So
facts.
Right. So, who you going with? You said Milwaukee. Who was your second one, Reggie? I know you said flip a coin, but if you had to be pinned down to one, who'd you?
I would go with Phoenix right now.
Okay.
I would go with Phoenix, even though I don't believe that they're going to win it in the West. Yeah. But at this moment of time, I would say Phoenix right now.
I think that's fair. Equally as confusing as we get to question number 3 is, who is your NFL MVP today? Before the day started, I would have said it's Josh Allen's to lose.
Yes.
And then the Jets was like, nah, we got something to say about that. So now, man, I don't know. I
think it's kind of easy, right? I think it's kind of easy at this point. If it wasn't for Josh Allen, I think it's got to be Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. I'll split, but I'm still going to ride with who's my MVP right now. I'm still going to ride with Josh, even though, even though now Jalen, I love that, man. That's a viable option there. So
my only thing about them, and I know we headed to question 5 here in a minute, but I'm gonna say this now because I think it fits. I really don't know if the Eagles are good. I honestly don't know, because if you look at their schedule, they won games that they're supposed to win because they're a good team. Yeah. But I don't know if they're good yet. So I don't know if I think Jalen Hurts is playing at a high level. It looks like he's playing at a high level. But I don't know if he's playing at a high level.
Yeah, I won't say the Eagles are necessarily good until they play the Cowboys with Dak in there, and they can actually. I'm saying as far as they were playing with Cooper Rush.
You're making it personal.
No, I'm saying though, but
regardless of how you try to fix this question up, you're making it personal.
Okay, tell me who they play the rest of the schedule and see if
that's just it. They don't really have. It's not a strong schedule. Outside of playing the NFC East, they don't have a strong schedule.
Exactly.
But they should win every game other than the 2 that we're talking about.
Listen to me, Eagles fans.
Yeah.
All Eagles fans, listen to me. You're a great team, but you need to lose. You need to lose. No, seriously, you do. You don't want to go into this NFL playoffs undefeated.
I said the same thing, Reggie.
Yeah. And I'm not because I think right now, they're the best team in NFC right now. Let's be honest. They're the best team in NFC.
They are. I mean, they are. They're the best team in the league.
Technically, they're the best team.
Because let's think about this. If you go undefeated, in that last game or 2, you rest players and you do this, and you get out of your rhythm. Thanks. In your first game of the playoffs, you can slip up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shouldn't happen before.
I'm not saying you should try to lose, but it's best for you guys to lose. We've seen this story several times from teams that played this well and got into the playoffs and lost.
Yeah. Can I throw out some names just to consider for MVP? One, Geno Smith. You go look at the numbers. He's balling, man. He's balling. I don't know where this came from or how this happened, but he's balling.
Is it a contract year for him?
I don't know what it is, but
Seattle's not letting him go.
I'm just saying people like to play better.
You know what it is? You know what it is? It's an awakening, and it's the finally being placed in the right system. That matters, man. That matters.
I'm done. I'm dropping the Starburst. You hear me? I'm dropping the Starburst. It's done. Why do
from now on, when somebody says something dope on this show, I'm dropping the Starburst.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That matters, man. Yeah, and he's balling. You can't take. So that's a name that I would throw out. I mean, obviously Patrick Mahomes, you got to throw that out there.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a clear and away person, though. Maybe Jalen Hurts is declared away because of the record, but I don't know. We'll see.
I think it's out of him and Josh. I don't know as far as I went offensive and defensive MVP, so I got So I think out of him and Josh Allen, those two are the front runners. Even though Josh Allen, lost today, my defensive MVP.
We know it's Michael Parsons. Come on, what we doing?
I mean, but the numbers back it up, man. I ain't gonna lie, the numbers back it up.
Hey man, why do we always gotta bring up the Cowboys?
The numbers it's about
we're still talking about the Cowboys.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. Probably for the same reason they do on ESPN and Fox. That every time you say the Cowboys' name, the ratings go up. So I guess that's why we do it.
We might get some more likes on this, man. I'm trying to get some more likes, man.
Like, subscribe, and follow.
No, but the numbers back it up, man. So I mean, I feel like him and also Sauce Gardner, man.
Sauce Gardner is balling out of control. Like, man. So I'm very impressed by that brother, man. So listen, it's still wide open, but I do agree it's probably Josh and Jalen to lose. All right, guys, this was a phenomenal college football weekend.
Yes,
and I'm gonna tell you something. You could kind of feel it last weekend. You could kind of feel it coming because it was like in the air. Yeah. And shout out to Reggie Love because he was the only one of us that said for sure. No, I think I rode with you a little bit though. I think I kind of rode with you a little bit. But you said it. You called it, bro. That LSU Alabama, man, that was a bit. So before we get to the top 4 teams, most shocking loss to you this weekend.
Oh.
And by the way, shout out to myself because I called it Notre Dame.
I'm about to say, I'm gonna give that the most shocking loss.
Yeah.
Because to be honest with you, Clemson was ranked 5th in the country.
They were 4th. They were 4th.
They were 5th in. They were 4th in the playoffs and 5th in the rankings. Yes.
Right. I'm gonna go with the most shocking loss. I got to go with that Clemson Notre Dame. Wow. Even though Lord predicted it.
Yeah.
But you think about the Alabama LSU. LSU was a ranked team. Notre Dame was not ranked at all.
Yeah.
And they haven't been playing the best at times.
Yeah.
So
early on.
Yeah. But not only the loss, by the amount they beat them by. That's the biggest. That's the shocker part about it. The amount.
Yeah.
So they got exposed.
Yeah.
They got exposed. They absolutely got exposed. Matter of fact, what made it worse is that the whole team got exposed.
Right.
So, he tried to pull that trick again about I'm a bitch DJ and put it in the backup. Yeah, the backup threw an interception immediately.
Right.
And he threw it on the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
So on his own 2-yard line. So they have been fully exposed. And I'm gonna make another prediction here on this show right now. They're going to lose again at home to Louisville.
Wow.
Who is trending in the right direction. If you've seen Louisville play the last 4 weeks, that defense is for real. And I'm telling you, they're going to beat them again. They're going to lose again.
Wow. And here's the crazy thing about it. You guys asked where there's going to be 2 or 3 SEC teams in that Final Four. It may not be but
one.
Right. That is Whoa, Reggie. You said something when you said that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You might be right all the way through. And by the way, shout out to TCU because they might be finally the benefactor after being robbed for so many years. They may finally get their opportunity and be the benefactor of being able to get on in because they're winning their games. So, who's your top 4, Chad? Who's your top 4, Reggie?
My top 4, Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, and TCU.
I like it.
I like it too.
I like it. Reggie, who you going with on that one?
I may switch TCU with Tennessee.
Wow, so you're not going to punish him? Now, at least not all the way.
No, I said I may.
Right.
I may. because I'm looking at the strength of TCU's schedule.
It's not great. It's not great.
Yeah. And guess what? They play Texas next week, and Texas hasn't been playing bad at all.
No, that's going to be a good one. They need that win. They desperately need that win. Yeah.
If they beat Texas, if they beat Texas next week and everybody else win, I'm going to put them ahead of Tennessee.
Ooh, okay.
Now, if TCU lose, then I'll put Tennessee in there.
I'll put Tennessee.
So we all kind of think the Tennessee thing was more about it being in Georgia than it was about how bad they actually are.
Tennessee reminds me of LSU. Man, they play totally different at home.
Yeah.
And that's why I had a feeling that LSU was going to get Tennessee.
Yeah.
And mark my words.
Or Alabama.
Yeah,
Alabama. Yeah.
Here's another prediction I'm going to say. I know people are going to think I'm crazy.
Come on, Reggie.
LSU may lose to Arkansas in Arkansas next week.
Oh, no, I don't think you're crazy. I don't think you're crazy at all about that.
Now,
the
reason why I say that is, Arkansas secondary is horrible. If they play halfway decent,
yeah,
it's a possibility they can beat LSU. But LSU needs to win. It's a possibility, but LSU needs this win because if LSU finishes out, they win the East. Am I right?
Yeah. No, LSU's in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
They are in the driver's seat, and they can't. They got to keep winning in order to stay there. I tell you what, man, this is going to be a fun weekend coming up for sure. My top four, I believe, is the same. I think, Chad. Except I'm gonna go Georgia. I'm actually gonna go Michigan 2, Ohio State 3.
I agree.
Yeah, I think Michigan is really balling, and that defense is for real. I think that defense is for real. Ohio State 3 and TCU is my 4, but I will put Tennessee at 5. I'm not gonna punish Tennessee as much as maybe some of the voters might, but let me say this also. My number 6 is Oregon, and they coming. Now, the problem with Oregon is that first loss was a horrific loss, and I can't measure them against anything but the Pac-12, and I don't honestly know how good the Pac-12 is or isn't, right? I just don't know because they're beating up on each other, so I don't know. But that first loss was really, really bad coming east. And they're going to have to come east to win the rest of the game. So,
if Oregon can win out, they will make the Final Four because I think that Michigan and Ohio State
will cancel each other out. Yeah.
Cancel somebody out, and Oregon will win.
Yeah. And especially if Georgia wins, because that means Oregon's only loss would be to Georgia.
Right, exactly.
And that would be like, okay, well, how do you punish them if their only loss is to somebody that's on?
Right.
Yeah.
But hey, guys, are we? Oh, Lord.
Yeah, he broke up again.
All right, y'all keep talking.
Okay,
it'll come back. There we go.
But here's another thing. Ohio State looks shaky some games to me. Am I the only one seeing this?
Nope.
No, yeah. You're right about it.
100%.
You're right about it. That's why that 100%. Last game is going to be so important, man. That Michigan-Ohio State game.
I trust Michigan's defense far more than I trust Ohio State's as consistency. Now, The problem is, okay, I know y'all missed that one. Did y'all hear me?
Yeah. Hey,
let's try again. I said I trust PJ.
We're looking at you like that boxer on Harlem Nights when he was stuttering.
You about to be okay? That's funny. I was saying. I said I trust CJ Stroud far more than I trust Michigan's quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the trick of the thing. But those are my 4 for sure, man. I think at TCU they just gotta stay the course. Right. Just keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully it'll all fall back to you.
Man,
that's all you can hope for.
This weekend here, whoo,
Big weekend. Big weekend.
And TC was playing at Texas.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's tough. That's a tough game.
Mm.
That's a tough game. That's a tough game. All right. Tonight, who impressed you most today in the NFL and who disappointed you?
Who impressed you?
I'm not gonna say it disappointed me, but I'm not like everybody else that's gonna celebrate what Tom Brady just did.
No.
Bruh, in order to score, I need you to understand what just happened, Tom Brady. In order to throw for 280 yards and score 16 points, you had to throw 59 passes.
Wow.
That is not good.
That's great.
I'm sorry, but that's not okay. Now, do they need that win? Yes. Do they need it desperately? Yes. But does that mean they're back? No, not at all. I'm sorry, 58 passes. I apologize. But to his credit, he didn't throw an interception. There you go. So I guess that's something. But even with that being said, that's not who disappointed me tonight. Who disappointed me the most?
Can we say who impressed us first?
Yeah, let's do impress. Okay, let's do impress. Go ahead.
Jets, Jets.
Man,
Yeah.
what a win.
Brother, let's talk about that front four. They say they rotate 8 to 10
Yeah.
on that front four.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That front four will get after you.
They're for real. I love that Reggie, but I'm gonna go a different route here, man. Hey man, it's time to start putting some respect on the Seahawks name.
Oh yeah.
It's time to start putting some respect on that team. They for real. They're gonna be in the conversations at the end. I don't know how far they're gonna go, but out of everybody in the NFC West, that's the only team you trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the only team you trust. Arizona's terrible. The Rams just lost to the Buccaneers.
Terrible.
And oh gosh, not the Chargers. Who's the other team in the West?
Raiders. Raiders.
No, Raiders.
No, the NFC West.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Who was that?
Why my mind's going blank. I'm having an old moment.
Cardinals,
the Rams, the Seahawks, and the
Chargers.
Broncos.
No, that's AFC West. That's AFC. Hold on. That's why we have Google. Why are we all drawing a blank at the same time? San Francisco. Now, San Francisco could, because of all their weapons, they may end up being the best team in the West, in the NFC West. Maybe, right? With the Christian McCaffrey. But
they're 4-4.
Yeah, right. But Seattle's going to be there. It's going to come down to Seattle and San Francisco. Right. It's going to come down to Seattle and San Francisco.
That's that thing that we talk about with Philly or somebody. If Philly run into a Seattle or San Francisco that first game.
Yeah, I don't know if Philly can beat them. If we're being honest, I don't know if they can beat them.
I'm not saying they can't beat them. I'm just saying you don't want to go playing one of them teams not ready to play.
Yeah, they're a threat. Definitely a threat. Don't let it be a close game either.
Right.
Yeah, I agree 100%. 100%, bro. All right. Reggie? Chad? Who's your impressed?
Minnesota did impress me. Minnesota impressed me. And the Bengals impressed me without Jamar Chase, and still, were able to, put 42 up on the Panthers. They relied on Joe Mixon in the running game. He had 4 touchdowns. I think they'll be there at the end, because they got it clicking on offense, and their defense is trying to contain. So I think
Cincinnati?
Yeah, I think they'll still be there in the end, man.
They can't block nobody, man. In my opinion,
They couldn't block nobody last year, and look where it got.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's a good point. That's actually a solid point. All right, now we got to go disappointment. Who disappointed you?
I'm gonna go 50-50.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 50-50 Indy, and I'm gonna go 50. The other 50 is Green Bay. We're talking about two teams here, guys, that we were talking about are playing for the AFC and NFC championship.
Yeah.
And both of them, I'm just gonna be honest. One of them is my squad. They're stinking it up.
Yeah.
And Aaron, did he throw 3 interceptions today? 3?
And let's not bury that lead because it wasn't just 3 interceptions. It was 3 interceptions in the red zone.
Yeah.
I mean, he was horrible today. Now he'll blame everybody else,
Right.
but it was him.
Right.
He was bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say Indy disappointed me, and the reason why, I understand what's happening. They thought they had something in Matt Ryan. They thought that the line was a little stronger than it actually was, and Jonathan Taylor's out. Listen, it's a lot of stuff going that ain't quite together yet. But here's the thing about Indy. Indy gave up 26 points, and some of that was, garbagey kind of points. They held Mac Jones to 147 yards passing. That's a good day. They just don't have anything else.
No, they don't have, because you got to be able to move the ball.
Yeah, you gotta have complimentary football, and they don't have it right now.
No.
Yeah. So I'm not going to bash them. Green Bay, however, yikes. That was the Lions, people. That was the Lions, who statistically and realistically have the worst defense in the league.
Yeah.
And they made the Lions look like world beaters.
Yeah. It made him like Ray Lewis ball. Man.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Green Bay, it was fun. It was exciting. Now let me throw out the most controversial question of the night. At what point do you pull Aaron Rodgers and put in your backup quarterback to see if you need to draft a quarterback in this year's draft? Because Green Bay's 3-6. Now it ain't over. Like the season ain't completely over, but in the standings, they are 2 games behind. No, did they lose to Chicago? Or have
they played them?
Maybe they haven't played. I don't know. Let's see. Let me look at their schedule because I don't remember if they beat them or not.
For Green Bay,
they won against Chicago.
They won against Chicago. Okay, so they're a game up on Chicago, but they got the same record. And Chicago, by the way, that was before Chicago figured some things out. Green Bay ain't beating Chicago now.
Yeah.
So
and let's be honest. I don't think but one team is coming out of the NFC North.
Oh God, no. Yeah, it's just Minnesota. That's it.
Minnesota's going to be the only team come out of there.
Yeah, it's True. Minnesota, and that's the list. Yeah, right. They're not catching Minnesota. So at some point, don't you have to see what Jordan Love is, or are you that locked into Aaron Rodgers?
You're paying him too much money.
I think if you fall out of playoff contention, then you can kind of do that.
But don't they have a culture problem right now?
They got a quarterback issue, a leadership problem.
But that's what I'm saying. I
don't even think it matters. I don't think it matters because I don't. Since Rodgers not going to be there next year anyway, you're going to have to draft another quarterback anyway. So I don't think it really.
Well,
matters.
That's why you say
Rodgers there next year.
No,
I don't think so either. I agree with him.
No,
I agree 100% with him. I think you. Huh?
Didn't he sign a multi-year contract?
He sure did, but it's a tradable contract. It is a tradable contract. And there are some teams that would take that contract right now. I'm looking at you, Indianapolis Colts.
Exactly.
And,
exactly.
I'm just saying, bro.
Hey, you're right. I would take him too. So,
and by the way, I'm also looking at you, New York Giants, because we ain't listen. As great as Daniel has been, it ain't locked in yet. So
I think all three teams we support will take him right now.
I'm just saying. So I think it's not a lock that he's back. But I think you got to put Jordan in and see what he is at some point. But now again, it's 3-6.
Yeah.
Technically, there is still time, but they're behind everybody. Like,
yeah, but I think if you bench him, you're gonna have another set of problems if you bench him.
Yeah.
Oh well. How's that any different than the problems you already got?
Yeah.
Here are the top 7 teams in the NFC right now: Philly, Minnesota, Dallas, New York Giants, Seattle, San Francisco, and somehow Tampa Bay. And none of us would believe that Tampa Bay is better than Atlanta. I'm not sure they're better than the Commanders. But Green Bay is like 12th in the conference. I'm just saying. They got a long way to go to get back to respectability. So
yeah.
I think I would consider it, bro. Huh?
How many teams come out of the East Conference for the playoffs?
7. I think I would consider it. That's just my opinion. I think I would consider it.
And it's crazy. It's still all the teams that's playing horrible still have an opportunity to make that 7.
Yeah.
Only because their divisions are so bad.
Right.
By the way, Chad, I know you're gonna back me up on this. So all of you have been clowning the NFCs the last few years.
Yeah.
You couldn't live with your own failures.
Exactly.
Now what does that bring you?
Okay. Nickname the NFC least and everything. Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's all coming back. It's all coming back to fruition now. So here we go. All right.
And all of them out the first round.
Chill.
That also might be.
I'm teasing.
All right. Shout outs real quick. We got about a minute left, fellas. Who you shouting out this week?
Who am I shouting out? Shout out, first shout out you guys, man. Enjoy doing the show with you guys, man. Shout out Cam. Definitely miss arguing with him, every time. So shout out my wife, man. Recovering from the COVID-19.
COVID-19.
Yeah, definitely shout out to her. She's tested negative, so she's on the go. She's good at it. So
awesome.
Man, I told you about kissing her, man. She passing germs, man.
Hey, you got to do that, brother. Also, man, vote.
Yeah. Exactly. I agree. Hey, man, I'm piggybacking off of Chad. Shout out to all you gents, man. Hey, let's keep pushing this thing forward. Hey, shout out to Cam.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, like I said, go out and vote, guys. Hey, man, and I must say to all you guys, man, keep setting an example of being positive around here, man. We hear so much negative stuff from sports, man. Sports is supposed to be our way of getting away from some of the negative things that goes on into the world. Now the negative things is bringing into our sports. And a lot of times our kids and our youth are looking up to the people a part of the sports. But number one, that you should be looking up to us men that's in their household, number one. So we got to definitely keep that thing positive and try to remove some of this negativity in the world, man. And yeah, bro, let's keep this thing positive, man. So,
amen. Amen. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be said. You gentlemen said it all. I appreciate you both. Shout out to Cam and shout out to the Five Nation for keeping it faithful and keeping us connected, man. We appreciate y'all so much. And listen, we'll be back next week. By the way, next week will be our last week before the Thanksgiving. We will not have a show Thanksgiving week. So tune in next week. We'll get you ready for the next 2 weeks, and then we are out for a week off. We need it. We earned it. So there you go. Yes, sir. So y'all enjoy your time, and we'll see you next week. Peace.